Happy lunch hour, gang. Okay, we finally have been notified of the first policy under the Kamala Harris projected administration. It's been reported this morning that she is finally going to announce the first thing that she plans on doing upon being president. Yeah. No word on whether or not she's going to take any questions, which I highly doubt considering what this is. And of course, even her spokesperson says that the chances of there being a interview or a press conference before the end of the month, which is still more than 2 weeks away, is highly unlikely. Right, because we just need to tell everybody this is what's going to happen. Da, comrade. Okay. For 250 years, the United States has worked under the economic principle of capitalism. In case you don't know what the definition of it is, I'm going to give it to you real quick. Individuals own and control most factors of production, including capital goods, resources, and companies. Businesses compete with each other in a free market to produce goods and services, determining prices, production levels, and distribution. That's capitalism. Okay. Now you think about it. Let's say, and we'll bring this down as to the most common denominator. Let's say you and your neighbor are both having garage sales. Okay, you're right next door to each other. You're friends, whatever. And each one of you is selling mason jars. We'll just pick that, okay? And each one of you has 50 mason jars. Your neighbor's selling each mason jar for 50 cents a piece. And you're going, under Bidenomics, I really need to make some money. So I'm going to sell my mason jars for 45 cents a piece. Now, if I'm the customer, if I'm the one garage sailing that day, and I walk down the street, I say, oh, she's selling mason jars for 50 cents. I got to remember that. I might come back and get them. And then I go to your house and I see mason jars for 45 cents a piece. Guess who I'm buying them from? That's capitalism, okay? Competition brings prices down. That's it. Government brings prices up. That is it. It has always worked that way. It will always work that way. There is no other way to do it. Unless, of course, we elect the cackling hen. Kamala Harris is going to present her first portion of her federal economic policy tomorrow, okay? And in this address, she is going to implement the first ever national ban on price gouging and price fixing within her first 100 days. Welcome to the USSR, where it doesn't matter if you are Trader Joe's or Kroger or Aldi. You will sell butter for $4 a pound. Oh, or maybe we'll make it $5 a pound. Or maybe we'll make it $6. Right? Okay. What she fails to understand is that it isn't the grocery store, it isn't the retail store, it isn't the garage mechanic, it isn't the oil companies or whatever that are forcing prices to go up. It is the government. It is regulation. It is over-regulation. It's too many restrictions put on companies to do business. And again, it all comes down to oil. Kind of what I said yesterday about 2 miles to bankruptcy. It all comes down to oil. If we stop drilling, stop producing, stop refining, try to go all electric bullshit, all this sort of stuff. That drives prices up. Companies have to make a profit. No question. If the company doesn't make a profit, the company goes out of business. If the person selling mason jars for 50 cents can't sell any mason jars, and the person selling them for 45 cents sells all theirs, what does the person next door do? They either go, either I drop my prices or I sit on all this inventory. That's free market capitalism. Communism is when the government tells somebody what they can and cannot charge for something. And you've got to remember this. The government is always going to tell them to charge more because that's how the government makes money. If your sales tax rate, will just make the math easy, is 10%, okay, and the government says that pound of butter is going to be $4, the government gets 40 cents. But then the government goes, if we tell them they have to make it $5, then we get 50 cents. That's the logic of communism. All the complaining over the years of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. Who do you think the rich are? The rich are the politicians. The rich are the ones that are in control of everything and want more power. It's not rocket science, guys. All these lunatic liberals who are out there going, the companies are making too much money. Do you know what the markup is, the margins, the profit margin of a grocery store is? It's about 2%. Answer me this honestly. Go look at a savings account. A passbook account. You can get 4.25% out of a passbook account right now. I know I do. That's what the rate is on my savings account. If you have, I don't know what a grocery store costs, a little IGA or something. Let's say it costs $1 million. If you have $1 million in cash and you decide, I'm going to go open up my own convenience store, my own 7-Eleven, my own IGA, whatever it would be, and my profit could be 2% after putting in all that work. Or I could go, I'll just stick it in the bank, or hopefully 4 banks so you can keep the FDIC insurance, and go, I'm going to make twice the money and I don't have to do shit. What are you going to do? Grocery stores, retail stores are not making money hand over fist. They're trying to hang on. When the cost of the product is more, they have to charge more. The cost of transportation, the cost of producing it, the cost of the labor. We need $20 an hour minimum wage. We saw how well that worked, right? So now tell the guy who owns the McDonald's that we're going to price fix him that he can only charge $3 for a Big Mac. But he has to pay the employee $20 an hour to make the Big Mac. And the owner goes, that employee needs to sell 7 Big Macs in an hour to pay his salary before the cost of the building, the insurance, the electricity, the food, the maintenance, the water bill, yada, 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 right? And how long is it till the McDonald's owner goes, I'm out of here? Go look at California. Companies are leaving like crazy. Restaurants, gone. Elon Musk, gone. Technology companies, gone. Okay? But this is what they want to do. Their idea of fixing the economy is everybody gets to be paid more, but the companies have to charge less and force them to do it. Well, there's a problem. Who's going to pay those employees? Again, I'll use McDonald's as an example. Been in one lately? You don't go to the cashier and put your order in. You type it into a kiosk because they got rid of the employees because the employees were too expensive. That was how they stayed in business. You can't pay employees more than you're making. You go out of business. Then when you go out of business and Kamala Harris is going to go, why aren't there any jobs? Because you killed them, idiot. Free market capitalism has proven to work for 250 years in this country. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What you're offering has never worked. That's what needs to be fixed. Pinball out.